Hi there, hope you're doing good. So here I am with another Excel workflow automation. And in this automation, we'll be going through few process. This video is being recorded just to keep the record that what functionality currently we are using and for the users to update it accordingly. And they can understand that how this is actually working. So the setup is in a way that we have some values in it. This is basically a manual input table where we have to enter the budget values. The similar table is for the actual costs, which will be depending on the each month. Obviously, this is each month data, and these are the incomes. Then we have expenses. Then the total of expenses. These are the most of these are calculations. The color scheme is working in a way that the grays are mostly the formula cells where the formulas are lying or the fixed values are there. Greens are headings and yellow are the input cells. So any cell which is yellow, you can enter or change the value in that. Apart from that, you can continue without changing any cells and everything should work fine. Okay, so there are two tabs which are almost similar in format, one for budget and one for actual, and both are in monthly format, starting from January 2023, ending at 25 December. Okay. As I said that these are formulas and you don't need to make any changes in it. But in case if you want to start the sheet from 2024, how can we do that? So for that, we have a list option DD. I have added this simple control in it. Now, here you have a drop down from 2020 to 2030, and you can select any year from here. And whatever the year you will select, let me select 2024 and go back to the yearly budget. And here you can see that now the sheet is starting from 2024. Though if you want to add it up to 2027 or further, you can simply drag it on the right side and everything will work fine. So this is one thing. So once I select as a starting point, if I select 2024 in here, it means that I want to start the sheet from 2024. So this will become 2024 automatically. This will also become 2024. Now the other sheet, budget variance. So here we are calculating obviously year on year. So we are not going to use any date in the name. We'll be using just a variance, budget variance. And in this sheet, the data is being pulled accordingly. As you can see, it is starting from April 2024 because we started, we forcefully started it from April. We don't want this to start from January. So you can see if I'll select 2023 in here, and come back on budget variance, you will see it is showing 2023. So this year selection, the starting year selection is from this day, this drop down, which is in the list option drop down. All right. And the green and yellows are just to make sure, just to recognize that this is a separate sheet, this is a separate cell, then this is a separate month, this is a separate month. So the green and yellows are just to make sure, just to segregate or differentiate the different months. We can delete this number. All right. Again, I want to highlight these as grays, as we don't have to make any changes in these. These are all formulas, but I kept those as white just to keep a good formatting, pleasant to eye. The only cells you need to enter in here are these two reasons: plan of action and reasons. The yellow cells only. We can always remove all of these yellow cells. We don't. These are not the input cells. All right. So these in this sheet, I have freeze this column and a row so that if you will scroll on the right side once, you will see the headers, the main headings of the column of each row will be stuck and you can always relate it to it. So this is it. You are entering the values in here. So for example, if you scroll down, still you will be having the fixed header so that you can always easily navigate and you understand that, okay, which column you are working on. Is it a budget column or actual column or a variance column? So this is how you can easily enter values in it. So this is the only thing in this tab that you can enter the values or comment in front of each. I'm using these numbers just to conditional format that where it should color It should not color these cells where there is no values, or this is just a gap in between the two portions of revenue and expense. So I just use these numbers, which is automatic obviously. And I don't think so you are going to make any changes in these values as already discussed. So we can always hide this, but we can always keep the number as well. No worries about that. So and this sheet will go up to 2025 because we are starting it from 2023. But if you want to start it from 2024, you can see the number will get updated automatically and it will reach up to December 2026. This is how it's going to work. Why I'm making it 2023 again? Just because that we have the data. We don't have the data for 2024, but 2023. So just to show you the data, you can see the data has been changed for April 2023. We have the data available. All right. All right. So that is it for this sheet. You just need to enter the values in here. All of the formulas are working fine. As you can see, the negative minus 500, less than minus 500 values will get automatically highlighted. Greater than 500 will also get highlighted, and less than 0 will always also get highlighted on this variance column. Whereas the ranges which will get highlighted is in the variance is less than 3%, more than 3%, and less than 0. Those will get highlighted as red font as well. And this format will be applying on all the months. And furthermore, if you want to add up to add further columns, you can simply copy these two just to give the format of blue and green. Just copy it and start pasting it on the right side, and it will work. All right. So this is the cash flow thing where we have some values, and these are the two manual inputs. The starting dates you need to enter, the starting date, whatever the date you want to enter, and the cost for that. This is we have already discussed in details. These, if you want these comments, we can keep those. If you don't want, you can let me know, and I'll delete all these red comments from the sheet. Again, the only thing I need to highlight in this recording is that on this actual balance, which is green, this is also a yellow cell. As we discussed already, the yellow cells are the cells where you need to just enter some text, or you can replace the values with your forced values or maybe numbers, the real input number, just like on these types. You can enter new values for the 11th November 2024 and all of these as well. I want to just highlight this cell that basically what we are doing, we are forcing the initial date, the initial income balance in hand for this particular date. And whatever the income or expenses are there, this will depend, the next cash in hand will depend upon those calculations. But in case if you want to force a new value due to any reason, you can simply enter in here. So you can see this is 1462, and then there were some income, some expenses, and the remaining balance was 2779, and which is the next day's balance. But if you want to, if you don't want to start it from 2779, but maybe 2500, we can always type in here. Whatever the number you will type in here, that will become the forced value for the cash in hand for the next day. All right. Yeah, there are two more cells for the LOC balance and LOC management amount, which to be entered in these two cells. I think these are the initial values for 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the initial values, and then there will be daily inputs against each date. Okay, let's move to the next portion, which is the call logs. Obviously, you can always enter, the drill. I haven't made any change in the format for this particular tab. But you know how do you enter these values. Most of these are the input values, input cells, except this one. This one is a gray cell, and basically this is a formula, and there are on the other right side, which we are not going to make changes to. Okay, so you know the drill, you know how to enter the values in this, and I have updated the drop downs for all of these G, H, and Q columns. Let me drag down and show you. If you will open the drop down, you will see you will be able to see the values which are new drop downs from this tab. We can always sort these values as well, but I don't know if you want to keep this setting. and keep the lawyer.com at the bottom and social media at the top. But if you want to sort it by text, like alphabetically sorted, you can let me know and I'll sort those, no problem at all. Or you can simply just select whatever the range you have, go to the data tab and sort it by A to Z. And you can see it's sorted. So this is now up to you. Maybe this is the prime option, and this should be the first option or mostly used option. So you can always keep it at top as well, so that you can easily select. You don't need to scroll down. But if you want me to sort it by alphabetically, you can let me know. So this is it. These are the three columns. I haven't. These are the new entries, and you can always enter the. Let me highlight those yellow. So these are basically manual inputs, which you can always make changes to. Um, These are new values, whereas I have also created a list for the old options, which are already in use in the call logs. I think there are some differences between these two, but if you want to keep those, you can always copy this from here and paste it at the bottom, and you will be able to see. We can always sort it, and we can always see those drop down. The drop down got updated with all the values. So what this drop down will automatically do, if there are any duplication in the drop down values, like for example, a if I'll add this, if I'll add this internet evo maybe multiple times, something wrong with my PC. Let me fix this first. All right, welcome back. Okay, so what I was trying to explain is that if I'll copy this option multiple times and add another one, two, three as an option, just to show you that these will be get updated on the drop down. And if I'll jump in here, I think this is this is the drop down. You can see this is 134 is here, and I have copy pasted the AVO multiple times just above the 134, which you can see here. Those are not being repeated on the in the drop down because the drop down automatically negates or removes all the duplicates available in the same drop down cell in the same drop down values. So you can always use these old text in here, and those will get updated as well. So the punchline here is that these are your new drop downs. But if you want to keep the older one as well, you can let me know and I'll merge those in together and make sure that there are no duplicates in it. Though if there will be any duplicates, those will not get effect in the drop down. But it's good to keep one as a prime format so that you have only one text. For example, if you will take a value ARAG with a space and ARAG without space, that those will get treated as separate values instead of same value. So this is why important to keep the single value and the alphabetical thing if you want to do that part. All right, so let me delete the extras in here. All right, so we can always keep these text from here to here. Let me delete for the time being. So these are your new drop downs and these are the old values which we can always merge. All right. Regarding the other two columns are also completed for the drop downs. You can see this one is showing the drop down with for these, and the other is Q, where you can also see the drop down working fine. Okay, let's move to the next sheet. So the next sheet is equivalent to the call log sheet tab, which was taking in the data. So we have the in this sheet we have two things. One is the manual input on the month on the on the day basis. Sorry, on month basis, where you can always enter the values in front of the yellow cells. So these are the three different inputs: loss completed, PI, added, or the customer. Then this part at the bottom, there are three matrices being calculated. which are being calculated based on the data from the call logs. There's a slight change which I want to explain in here. So this is being calculated based on the PI available in the column J on call logs. So we'll be focusing on this type of matter. So this is based on PI, the personal injury thing. Then this is based on SSA and the other. Initially, the formula I just changed. The other should be calculated only for the values which are being selected others, which is this one. So either there will be case type J on maybe this one, this one, this one, or this one. So we might need to add another 4 cells, 4 rows, or maybe few rows for this type. Let me, yep. So we have one for the personal injury, then one for the SSA. We do not have for the criminals, and you might want to add another for this one. Whereas the other will only be taking in the account which is selected others. Initially, what was happening that it was checking for a PI, SSA, and criminal. If none of those are there, then it was added in the others. But if we have an option others available already, so this matrix will calculate the values based on the selected item, selected cell value, others on the J column on call logs. I hope this is making sense. So this personal injury is being calculated based on column J having the PI in it. SSA is being calculated based on the column J, where the SSA is selected on column call logs column J, which is the type of matter. And this one is calculated based on the others, the selected text others on column J on call logs. So this is the only thing which I just want to explain. So all of these grays are the number values which are being calculated based on the call logs. Regarding the pivot table, yes, I have mimicked the pivot table from the call logs, from this call log, because initially this was generated on another sheet, this pivot table, but now I have exactly generated the same pivot table with same values, just verified those values as well. So these pivot tables are exactly the same, generating from the call logs. Okay. So yeah, that is it from for this video. Please do let me know if I missed something, or if there is any confusion, or if you want to sit with another session maybe. I'm using these values as random values, which we can always, let me quickly replace those. Okay, so now these are the random values which you can always delete one by one and replace the values if needed. I'll just copy and paste it in here to get the empty. I'll select 2 months and drag it on the right so that I can get the April 2023. I don't think so I need to drag it. For example, yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, okay. So yeah, you just need to click and maybe copy an empty column, paste it in here, and it will replace the values because the formulas are almost same in each and every one, and yellow cells are input, by the way, at the end. So I think that is it from my side. We can, yeah, I think I have done it. I'll remove the color for this tab. List option is yellow, just to make sure that this is just a drop down thing and nothing else. I was working on a database thing, but I don't think so this is required. If needed, we can generate this too. So that is it from my side. Looking forward for your response. Take care.